You come from a family of writers. You did say something about sisters and wider family.
Yeah, yeah,
I know for a fact that Evelyn Williams wrote about your father, right?
yes. The first book that we did on Dennis, I and my sister Evelyn did a collection of essays that we brought together from academics and writers that had contributed, and we thought it was time to consolidate this work and bring it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that, then Evelyn did a um, book on his art in
His
particular. So she
his
did a
art,
catalogue resume
right?
and then expanded it to a discussion of his art, uh, which is a lovely book. And then my sister Isabel, most recently, has written a memoir. I don't know that book very well, but I know she has contributed. So, yeah, we're all writing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know of that book. Isabel Adonis, writing the book, and um, your father played a great influence in you. What about your mother? The influence of your mother.
Yes, yes. Um, Again, marvelous memories. And as I said, I lost my mum back in the early 2000s. She was a huge influence on us all. Um, a kind of natural philosopher, somebody who had a big world view, very outgoing, a very strong sense of herself as Welsh, her Welshness,
Uh huh.
bilingual, of course. She spoke Welsh at home. And she gave us not only a love of the country of Wales, but also a perspective of how Wales fitted into a wider world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Sugar and Slate. I make those kinds of connections between Wales and its wider global presence,
Yeah,
including, of course, in Guyana.
yeah. You had a lot to say about Guyana.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing about the Sugar and Slate that I tried to do is in the structure of the book, I tried to show that kind of mixed experience. So the book's divided into three kind of parts where I talk about Africa,
Yeah.
Guyana, and Wales.
Yeah.
And it reflects that big triangular trade, of slavery that we have as part of our ancestry.
We know that
The
triangle.
way in which,
Yeah.
yeah, the way in which the British Empire has expanded across Africa and across the Caribbean and so on and so forth. So I'm trying to reflect that big story as the backdrop to my own personal story.
Oh,
And
interesting.
when I'm in Guyana, I'm talking about Wales, and when I'm in Wales, I'm talking about Africa and so on. So I try to show that all of those elements of heritage
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
belong in what makes me me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. 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 I've met Tony, and I've close relationship with Jennifer Wishart. I've met Tony
Yes,
when she was donating something to the Ministry of Culture, and I know Jennifer
yes,
quite a long time. So
yes.
yeah.
Now, these are my father's second marriage is Tony Williams, and then his third relationship with Jennifer Wishart.
Yeah.
Now, we are a very rich Caribbean family for this because there's 11 of us from these three families. We all get together. We still see each other. Tony's now in Nottingham in the UK with the family around her, and we go there and spend time.
Wow.
And then recently, Jenny's daughter Kibby, my sister Kibby Larry, came out here to Australia to spend time with me. So we're very rich in that big Caribbean family.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Quite close knitted, with a lot of things behind you to share. I mean,
Yes.
the background of each of you. That would be quite a reunion when you get together.
Yeah. Well, it's quite interesting because when Kibulari came to visit me recently, we were talking about the book Sugar and Slate, and we were talking about how you're born into different moments of Dennis's life
Uh huh.
and how that gives you different kinds of perspectives.
Ah, yeah. That might be something interesting to listen into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the part he played in each one of your lives at certain times. Did you see your father at
Exactly.
work? I mean, writing. I know you've gone into the interior with him when he was doing his archaeology and anthropology and things like that. But did you see him at work writing?
Yes. Now, this is a story, and I tell a little bit about it in Sugar and Slate. He, when he came to Wales, because we were sort of living between Africa and Wales when I was younger, and he was writing icon. No, sorry, he was writing over leopards, and he's in the room upstairs above us, and we can hear the typewriter, banging away, all this, so that kind of rumble of him, building his manuscript. And then the next thing that happens, he comes down and he's talking to Mum about it. Mum's read some of his script and they're having this big discussion and so on. So, yes, I was very much aware that he was writing a novel, that he was writing academically. I used to help him with his research indexing. It's hardly surprising that I ended up a researcher myself because he was showing me, how you carefully index your findings and so on and so forth. So I was very much involved in all of that.
I like something you said. He will come down. I remember those old Hermes typewriter where you had to pong away at them. Yeah, but he would come
Yeah.
down and read and read part of the manuscript to your mother.
Yes.
And it's interesting because very often we forget that part of our lives. We see the names, we see our names, we see
Yeah.
the names of the men who wrote the book, but we hardly
Yes.
see, well, we do see some acknowledgement to my wife, to my sister, but we hardly see
Yeah.
that real influence that the woman, the wife, the partner may have played in the writing of a book.
Yes.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that he shared it with the other side so we can get that. It's almost like Hindu philosophy. There's the male and female deity in one. All right?
Yes.
But I like that.
Uh,
Yeah.
he, Yeah, it's true. He had a lot of support from Mum originally, from Tony, and then subsequently from Jenny when he was doing the prehistoric Guyana book. So,
Prehistoric Guyana,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
that's going on all the time. I think that kind of support, and we should recognise all three of them as having contributed to his career.
That's what you call a real helpmate.
Yes, absolutely.
That is a real helpmate. Yeah.
Mm.
So you've seen him work. Did you, okay, you had part of his academic work, but the creative work, the fiction, um, were you part of that?
Yes, he wrote two novels, Other Leopards and The Third Temptation, which is set in Wales.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were very aware of the literature. And I think it's quite interesting how that first book was classified as novel of Africa
Uh-huh.
rather than, of a Caribbean writer. But it's just the way publishers worked at that time, I think. Yeah. And
Okay.
similarly, the book set in Wales was not recognised particularly as a book of Wales, which, is clearly set in Wales. Um, but it's seen much more in terms of the work of a Caribbean writer.
Yeah, yeah. But coming full circle, that book, Sugar and Slate, has won a Welsh Literary Prize, has it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations to you.
It's fabulous. Yeah. It won Welsh Book of the Year.
Uh-huh.
And then it stayed in continuous print over time, and then it was picked up by what we call the Library of Wales as a classic,
Wow,
and
nice.
it was republished last year in the Library of Wales series, which kind of lays it down in the canon, if you know what I mean.
Well, good for you.
And then just thank you, and then just this year, Penguin have republished it. When I say this year, I mean 2023. Sorry, we just
Yeah.
um, Penguin published it in their series that's called Black Britain Writing Back,
All right.
with a great foreword by Bernardine Evaristo, who I'm sure
Yeah.
people will have heard of her
Yeah. I've
work.
read books by her.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I know her.
it's had good recognition. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy about meeting this family, a family of writers, and
Yeah,
having another adventure, as I said, in Guyanese literature. It's wonderful to
yeah.
know more of Guyana, which is hidden away in so many places, computers, and so many memories. Thank you so very much
Yeah.
for sharing these thoughts with me. And we look forward to anything else
Thank
that
you.
you may be writing.
Thank you so much for the invitation to talk cross continents.
Yeah, and invitation is open for you to visit Guyana.
Thank you indeed. Thanks.
Bye.
Lovely. Bye bye for now.
Thank you. Bye bye for now.